Flying coasters are some of the most unique ride experiences in the roller coaster industry. They are a relatively new concept, dating back to the first flying coaster called Skytrack, located at Granada Studios in the UK, which was built back in 1997. Swiss manufacturer B&M debuted their first flying coaster model, Air, in 2002. Air was also built at another UK park called Alton Towers in Staffordshire, England. From 2002 to 2003, Six Flags purchased 3 flying coasters from B&M, calling them all Superman Ultimate Flight. These all feature the same cloned layout. These clones went to 3 of their bigger parks: Six Flags Over Georgia, Six Flags Great Adventure, and Six Flags Great America. However, their flagship park, Six Flags Magic Mountain, did not receive one of these clones because they had just received one of the most expensive standalone roller coasters ever built, X, in 2002. Six Flags received great praise for their new flying coasters and knew they needed to add one to their massive West Coast park. Rumors began in 2004 about a new coaster coming to Magic Mountain, and by 2005, land clearing and construction had already begun. The park announced Tatsu on November 17, 2005, which would be a custom layout flying coaster from B&M. Tatsu would become the world's tallest, fastest, and longest flying roller coaster. The ride uses the terrain to its advantage, flying around other attractions and through the trees. This coaster is still considered, to this day, one of the best flying coasters in the world. So what makes this coaster so special? This is Historic Coasters. Tatsu was the first B&M flying coaster to have its own unique layout. The Superman clones required a relatively flat plot of land to construct, and Six Flags Magic Mountain is more of a terrain park. It cost roughly $21 million because of the extra support needed on the sides of the hills, making Tatsu one of the most expensive additions to Magic Mountain. This coming 4 years after X. B&M had to shape the coaster around the already existing rides and hazardous terrain. To help ease the stress of the massive project, Six Flags began land clearing very early, almost 2 years before the opening of Tatsu. When looking for a theme for the ride, they wanted to incorporate the flying aspect of the ride with the Japanese-themed area that the ride would be constructed in. They decided to go with the name Tatsu. Tatsu means flying beast in Japanese mythology, a fitting name for the world's tallest, fastest, and longest flying coaster. The coaster also had a tagline, "Fly at the speed of fear." The station is loosely themed as a typical Japanese building. Obviously, Six Flags is not known for really putting a lot of money into quality theming, but they did a pretty decent job with the facade on this station. To begin construction, the iconic Revolution had to close, due to its proximity to the construction site. Roaring Rapids also needed to be closed for a while for the same reason. This is why so many coaster enthusiasts had speculated that something big was coming in 2006. Construction went smoothly due to Six Flags starting the land clearing so early. In April of 2006, the ride had already begun its first test runs. The hype around Tatsu was increasing, and fans wanted to get on it as soon as possible. The ride opened to the public on May 13, 2006. The reviews for the ride were phenomenal. It was widely considered the best flying coaster by enthusiasts. The coaster was also much more intense than the other Superman clones. The ride's elements were much bigger and built up more speed, causing higher G-forces. Its main element, the pretzel loop, is the largest pretzel loop in the world at 124 feet. It is also the most intense moment of the ride. For the full ride experience, riders board the train situated in a vertical sitting position. Then each car pivots its seats backward 90 degrees, transitioning riders into a horizontal flying position. The train exits the dual loading station and into the lift hill, which carries you up 170 feet through the trees. Riders then drop down a 110-foot turn to the right, reaching speeds of up to 62 miles per hour. The train then ascends up into its first inversion, which is a 103-foot tall corkscrew. Then, the train dives down and back up into a zero-G roll. Riders then fly up into a massive overbank turn to the right, and then a quick turn to the left before entering its most iconic element, the pretzel loop. This is the most intense moment of the ride. The ride then takes a slight turn to the right and into an inline twist. Riders then fly into a panoramic right turn. The train dips down and back up into the brakes, completing the ride experience. Tatsu will forever be one of the best flying coasters in the world. Only a few others since then have been built that can actually compete with Tatsu. The way the ride uses the terrain to its advantage makes it an engineering masterpiece and enhances the entire ride experience. It may not have the world records like it once did, but it's still one of the most intense roller coaster experiences out there, and I highly recommend you get out to Six Flags Magic Mountain and ride this beast of a coaster. Thank you for watching Historic Coasters, and we'll see you next time.